Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and the Kern High School District. With additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm Mickey.
I'm Joel. For math homework help, call in Bakersfield 636-4357. Everywhere else, 1-866-636-6284. Our email is dothemath@kern.org. We're online at dothemathonline.net and on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, nicely done, Joel. So where do you attend school and what grade are you in?
I go to school at Valley Oaks High School, and I'm in 10th grade.
How is 10th grade?
It's 10th grade. It's about the same as every other year.
It's not 9th grade, it's 10th grade, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got a little while to go.
Yeah.
Have you started thinking about what you would like to do after high school yet?
I ideally want to do something in audio
Okay,
or music, something professionally like that.
good. Well, you are into something like that right now, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you actually work for the Kern County Superintendent of Schools also, as far as part of the audio department, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. So what we're going to first of all do is we're going to take a look at today's social media problem of the day. You ready?
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at it together. And in 10th grade, you're working on geometry, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So it's a beautiful math problem of the day. So find the volume of this pyramid. So we see that the height is 26 centimeters, the base is 36 square centimeters, and we have some different options down there. So if we need to find the volume, what is the first thing, Joel, you think we need to do as far as attacking this problem?
Probably multiply the height and the base together.
Okay, so we do that, and let's take a look at the options that we have down there. We have 11,232, a little over 100,000, 312, and 38. So do you think there's anything right now that we can just get rid of?
We probably can get rid of probably 38.
Probably 38, because if we're going to multiply 26 by 36 and do something with it, we're not going to want
Yeah,
38.
it's going to be way under.
Okay, so let's, instead of, do you know 26 by 36 off the top of your head? Can you multiply that?
Off the top of my head, maybe not, but it's probably,
We know it's going to end in a 6 because 6 times 6 is 36, so
Yeah.
the number has to end in a 6.
and it's going to be a 6 at the start as well. Not necessarily.
Right, because we could carry and
Yeah.
it could be a little larger than that. Let's just make 26, let's make it 30.
See, that's where my mind was going. I wasn't
Right,
thinking
let's
more
just
about the end
round.
number, more of like, let's round both, and then it's going to be somewhere near that.
So if we make 26 30, what do you want to make 36?
36, probably 32 to make it more of,
How about 40?
Close.
Round up to
Well,
40?
you could.
Round
You
40?
can make it whatever
I'd
you
probably
want,
round up
right?
to 40. I'd probably go with 40.
There's all
40?
So you want to go 30 by 40?
that would be easier.
Okay.
Okay.
That
by
would
40.
be
So 30 by 40, so 3 times 4, we've got,
around 1,200.
right, around 1,200. Now, the volume, because it is a pyramid, we're going to only take a fractional part of that. So
Okay.
we're going to take a third of it. So if we have 1,200 and we take a third of that, what would that be about?
It would be around B, 312.
It would be around that, right? Because we think it's going to be around there, right? So you only have one more option. Do you want to stay with B, or would you like to change your answer?
I think I would like to stay with B.
We
You're
don't, want,
sure?
we don't want to go to 101,088 cubic centimeters. We're not
Probably
going to jump all the way up there?
All right.
Okay.
He goes with B. Let's see if he's correct. B is correct. There we go. We didn't even have to multiply it out. We just estimated right there. So that's an important skill. Estimating, as long as we know that we need to take a third of that number, because otherwise you're going to end up with a whole bunch of problems. Right?
And the nice thing is it is a good test-taking strategy. A lot of tests, even the SAT and the PSAT, a lot of those tests, will have some options that are blaringly wrong.
Yeah.
But students, if they use a test-taking strategy, can sometimes eliminate one or two answers and focus their time and energy on two answers that they have to find the best answer for.
Right.
So it is one test-taking strategy. You can sometimes eliminate some very obviously wrong questions, or I'm sorry, obviously wrong answers, and go from there. So,
Okay.
nice job.
All right. Nicely done. You ready to do some more work?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a breather right now because it is time now for today's Math in the News. right, in studio with us right now, today's Math in the News. We love it when we have guests in studio with us. Dr. John Mendiburu, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you, first of all, for making some time to come down and visit us this
anytime.
afternoon. So you are the new Kern County Superintendent of Schools.
Yes. Yep.
How are you digging it so far?
I'm enjoying it.
All right, good. So how long have you been with the Kern County Superintendent of Schools in any capacity?
I've been with the Kern County Superintendent of Schools office since 2020.
Okay, so you've been in this office a couple of years.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how you ended up here, so your upbringing and what you were doing before you ended up here.
Sure. Well, for upbringing, I was born and raised here in Kern County.
Okay.
My parents both, my mom was a mom from immigrant family who came here from Spain. My dad actually immigrated from Spain in 1955 to start agriculture business.
And did they come right here to Kern County, or were they someplace else?
Yeah, they originally came to Merced, which is about 3 hours north here, Bakersfield, and then migrated and ended up here in Kern County my 8th grade year. And so I started in the Rosedale School District as an 8th grader, and then went to East Bakersfield High School here in Bakersfield, then Cal State Bakersfield to get my teaching degree. I wanted to give back from the teachers that provided for me. And so I went through Cal State Bakersfield, became a teacher, and then ended up in the school systems here in Kern County as a classroom teacher.
Okay, so I understand all of that, and we can see that pathway pretty clearly. But then how do you become the superintendent of all of the different schools?
Well, then from there, I became a principal in the Rosedale School District, got to serve students. Then from there, went to the district office and became the assistant superintendent or chief business officer.
Okay.
Where I got to do all the math, fun-filled stuff with math. And then from there, became the superintendent of the Rosedale School District. And then from there, came over to Kern County Superintendent of Schools office, where I assisted the then Kern County Superintendent, Dr. Mary Barlow, as the associate. And then upon her retirement, I was appointed.
So that's got to be pretty, I don't know if exciting is the right word, but you started in Rosedale, and you ended up kind of as the superintendent of the same district you were a student in.
Yep.
So that's kind of, I mean, because you went all the way up, kind of like Doug Miller. I don't know if you remember Doug, but he did the same thing through the Panama district.
Yep, Doug and I worked together.
Yeah, because I think his father was a custodian at one of the schools, Panama, I think, and then he was a student and kind of worked the same way. So you guys kind of parallel everything
Same
like that.
Yep.
So talk about the importance of math when you were a teacher and then as the business officer.
Well, as a teacher, math is very crucial and important in everyday living. What I really enjoyed about it was getting students to have an understanding that sometimes the things that look very abstract does have a meaning. And the purpose of math applies to a lot of things that they do in everyday life and living. That same concept, when I went from the classroom to the principalship, then went over to the CBO as the business official, a lot of math was being used. Everywhere from balancing budgets, accounts, to even construction. A lot of people don't realize that we have to have math. Just today, the system, the social media problem with the looking at the triangles is stuff we use as a CBO, looking at construction, building. We did a lot of building when I was in Rosedale. We built gymnasiums, new schools, retrofitted schools, and we had to do a lot of geometric calculations and planning to figure out how much footage and square footage equals the amount of money we would be spending or saving if we change or modified programs. So it was really important that math is something we do every single day, regardless of what position or what career you end up in, you're going to be doing math.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that's one of the things we like to focus on with the program are different careers and how you are going to apply math in what you do. So the students are in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade right now, and they're like, oh, I kind of get it, but when am I ever going to have to do this? And then sometimes, especially junior high and high school students, you know, all right, I've been doing this for so long, when am I ever going to use this stuff? And they're perfect examples of all of these different careers.
Oh yes, and every career you get into, doesn't matter what career it is, you will end up doing
You're
math
gonna do
of some
something, right?
kind,
Because
somehow.
This is our 22nd season that we're kicking off, and I would have to say for, John, what has it been? At least 15 years we've been focusing on businesses and how they apply math to it. And I always love it when I talk to somebody and I go, well, what are you doing? They go, well, we don't use any math. I go, well, let's sit down and talk for a couple minutes and let's talk about exactly what you do, and then you'll see how much math actually is being applied in that. So the Kern County Superintendent of Schools started this program. We're in our 22nd year. So people go, all right, well, he's the superintendent of all the schools. What is the purpose, the role of this building, the Superintendent of Schools for Kern County?
The Kern County Superintendent of Schools Office and the organization is here to support and provide assistance to our local school districts to ensure that all students, regardless of the zip code in which they live in, gets the resources and the materials and support that they need to be successful in their next chapter. Many of our local educators were products of Kern County education. I was a product of Kern County education, and I feel that what I was given and provided allowed me to move into the directions that I wanted to get into, which was education and beyond. The Kern County Superintendent of Schools embraces that, and the purpose of our organization is just that. We provide uplifting resources and prioritizing our students' education. And everything that we do assists those students. And this type of a platform, doing Do the Math, is just exactly what students need. It's an avenue that students can use beyond what they receive in their classroom on a daily basis, that they can call in and get additional support and services that can help them, so when they go back to the classroom, they have knowledge and an understanding that
Hopefully a little more than what they had before
that they can
helped.
then take back to the classroom.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about the importance of, not all superintendent offices, I don't even know if I'm saying this, but
you're
not
right.
all different county offices have this, KETN,
Correct.
at their disposal. So the importance of KETN and the role of having this part of this office.
Yeah, the KETN network is very unique to Kern County and is very unique to county offices of education as a whole. Most county offices do not have the auxiliary programs and services to do support for their local school districts. They rely on third-party entities. And what's very unique about Kern County is we build our own and we develop our own programs and support to ensure that we are delivering the communication needed. KE10 is a great platform to communicate out. We have a lot of districts that are in remote areas. We are a very large area, and KE10 can get that and deliver information instantaneously and immediate for our local school
Well,
districts.
I'm glad you brought up a large area, because there are a lot of superintendents that hold the same position as you in different county offices, but I don't know too many that have to cover the same amount of area that you need to, because Kern County is basically the size of another state. If you take a
Yes.
look at states back east, I think it's pretty comparable to Connecticut, that you are in charge of. So how many different districts are there that comprise this office?
Yeah, there are
there
are 46 school districts and over 15 charters that this county has as a whole, and it stretches for many miles.
I was going to say, so pretty big job you've got.
It's a wonderful job.
And all the best to you. I know that you've got a lot on your plate.
Everything we do for our students.
Hey, you know what? We certainly do appreciate your support of having this math show continue into its 22nd year. And that is today's Math in the News with Dr. John Mendiburu. All right. Right now we're going to get Joel, 10th grade student at Valley Oaks, and Mick getting together. And you guys are going to talk a little bit about geometry. We're going to go down to triangles and go from there. So Joel, anything you would like to talk with Mick about triangles, you guys go at it. I'll give you a couple minutes and we'll see where we go.
Where do you want to start? Triangles, three-sided object, a lot of ways to go. You tell us where you want to go.
We can start with the different types.
Okay, tell me about the different types of triangles.
There are a couple different types.
Okay,
They kind of depend on the measures of the angles. Like, forgive me if I forget the names.
that's okay. That's what I'm here for.
This is equilateral. I think.
Correct, so equilateral meaning all the angles are
The same.
perfect, okay.
So it'd be, for one like this, it would be 45 on all sides.
Close. Remember, so the interior angles of a triangle will always be 180 degrees.
180, yeah.
So that's our interior angles will always be 180 degrees. Now, if I have three of them, what would the 3 degrees be?
It would be 63.
Close. Think about it like just 18. 18 divided by 3
Oh, it'd be
angles.
6.
6. Now add the 0 back
So it'd
on.
be 60.
60. Perfect. Yeah. So an equilateral triangle, we have 3 angles that are all equivalent. And so each one, you can write out kind of what is the degree angle, what is the measurement of those angles? 60 degrees. Perfect. And we said that is an equilateral triangle, like you said? Mm-hmm. Now we can go a little farther than just calling it equilateral. You are correct, they are equal sides, equal angles. But looking at those angle measurements, can you specify more what type of angles are in there? Because we have 3 types of angles specifically to triangles.
It would be acute
Yeah, so
because
acute.
they're under 90.
Correct, yeah. We have acute angles in an equilateral triangle because our angles are less than, oh, I'm sorry, that's greater than. Oops, let me flip that around. There we go. Our angles have to be less than 90 degrees. And because all three of those are 60 degrees, it makes it an acute equilateral triangle. All right, so what other types of triangles do we know? What else do we have? We talked about
There's
equilateral.
Isosceles.
Isosceles. Okay, let's draw an isosceles triangle here. And let's talk about what makes it an isosceles and what's so special about it.
An isosceles is I'm blanking right now.
That's okay. So show me what it looks like first and we can talk about it. If you're not quite sure, let me know and we'll kind of work together on
Not
it.
fully sure.
Okay.
Blanking.
So it is a triangle, so three sides, yes? Think about isosceles. How many eyes do you have?
2.
So on an
So it'd
isosceles
be-
triangle,
2 equal sides.
correct, yes. So go ahead and show me what that would look like. Two sides that are the exact same
So
length.
it would be something like this, or no, because
Close, that'd be a right triangle.
Yeah. It should be like
Yeah, there we go, perfect. So then are you saying this one down here is the same or the two sides?
this. The 2 sides would be the same.
Perfect. Now, do you know how we can note or mark the triangle to show they're congruent?
Would it be 2 lines like this?
Correct, yeah. And so then I could use this one gets one line to show it's on its own. It's not congruent with anything else.
Okay.
And now sometimes when you see a test, they may mark it and tell you what type of triangle is this, and they won't tell you the angles, they won't tell you any of the degree measurements. They'll simply show that 2 sides are equivalent, therefore making it what type of triangle?
In isosceles
An
triangle.
isosceles triangle, very good. And what's our third type?
It would be in a right angle? A right triangle? Or
Actually, okay, there actually are more than 3. I'm sorry, yeah, so let's draw a right triangle. You are correct, there is a right triangle. There are many ways we can classify triangles, many different ways. Now, what makes this a right triangle?
it has a 90-degree angle right here.
Ah, we call that a right angle. Perfect. So if that's 90 degrees, these other 2 also have to add up to what?
90 degrees.
Very good.
So it'd be 45 on each side.
Sometimes, it depends, yeah, it depends. Some can be 45, some can be a little different, but typically it'll be around 45 and 45. Now, is there any other type of triangle you can think of?
Would it be obtuse?
Okay, what does an obtuse triangle look like?
It would be probably, I can't exactly think of it off the top of my head, but it
That's
would have
okay.
2
So-
angles above 90.
It only has to have one. It only has to have one. So here would be an example of an obtuse triangle.
Oh.
So these angles, do they look like they're greater or less than 90 degrees in
They
here?
would be much less than 90.
Much less, but what about this guy up here?
It would be above 90.
Way over 90, right? So that's what makes it obtuse. That angle is way larger than 90 degrees. Even if it's 91 degrees, by definition, it's obtuse. Even if it comes out and we're like 130 degrees, still
Still
obtuse,
obtuse.
right? Anything greater than 90 is obtuse. Anything less than 90 is
Acute.
Perfect. And if it's right on 90,
It's right.
perfect. All right, let's jump back over to Mike. Mike, what do you think? It's a lot of ways we could describe triangles.
Right, there's a lot of ways. How about you get one more, a scalene?
Yes, that's the other. Okay, so scalene. Scalenes are interesting. Scalenes have nothing that is the same. So do you think you can draw a triangle that has no equal sides at all?
That would be, these 2 would be around the same.
I would say that's pretty scalene if I had to see a scalene triangle. This guy's pretty short, and if I were to take this one and kind of mentally kind of picture it going straight with it, I'm going to say it's shorter than this side here. So yeah, that's a scalene triangle. It's a triangle that, yes, it still follows the rule of interior angle, that all 3 interior angles have to be 180 degrees, but all 3 are different, and if all 3 angles are different, so are the side lengths, making it scalene.
There you go. So a nice intro and a nice little start to all different triangles and stuff right
I
there.
always forget there's you got the right, you got the acute, you got the obtuse, and then you have the scalene, isosceles, right, and it just keeps going on and on.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things we can go into. Anyway, Joel, for some great work so far, you got yourself a meal courtesy of our friends at Grillenburger. Ooh. So congratulations on that. If you happen to hit Grill, ooh, look at you dance the legs on the burger now. A little something
That's
new
new.
right there.
Okay, all right.
A little hot on that grill right there. Do a little jig. Hey, there we go. Right. Anyway, if you happen to go, say hi to Lydia. She loves do the math and loves helping out the kids and stuff like that. And speaking of geometry, we've got a little something right now you might be able to make triangles on, a Geoboard.
Hi, my name is Zenaida Gallardo, and I'm a math coordinator with KCSOS. I'm here to talk to you about the Geoboard. This manipulative has great power in learning mathematics. So let's go ahead and start with the younger kids. The Geoboard is a great tool to use to build shapes, to really have discussions about how many corners we see in a triangle, how many sides we see in the triangle. Also seeing the angles, this builds a right angle. As you engage with the Geoboard, you can also build things like squares and rectangles and have conversations around those. Like that is not quite a square or a rectangle. Now that becomes a rectangle. What makes it a rectangle? 4 sides, 4 corners, right, as you are engaging with it. Certainly, I can also think about like, what would be half of this rectangle? Oh, look at that. What would be half of this over here, of this triangle right here? Look at that. The Geoboard is a great tool to use to really think about building shapes, engaging with the shapes, using your rubber bands to make it fun for you, and then also just talk about the angles, the sides that we see in the different shapes as you are young and exploring with shapes. As you get older, your teachers might begin to ask you things like, can you build different shapes, like different quadrilaterals? We know quadrilaterals have 4 sides. Can you build another type of quadrilateral? Can you keep this pattern going? And so this is a great tool to use to continue to engage with shapes as you get older. Perhaps you can build an octagon. That's a challenge I have for you. And then over here, maybe 3rd and 4th grade, you start to learn about area and perimeter. Well, with this, you can think about these 2 different shapes and think about, well, the area is the square units inside. You can see this so clearly right here in this rectangle. That is your area. And your perimeter is the distance around. And can you see that? Can you see that in this shape? As students get older, they have to find area and perimeter of larger combined shapes. And so this is a great tool to use to really engage with that. I really think that the Geoboard has great uses for students to understand geometry, mathematics in general, and it makes it fun for kids. So I really hope that you get to use this manipulative at home, at school, engage with it. Thank you.
I'll tell you, I love using manipulatives in the math classroom. It is just so much fun. The kids get a kick out of it too, and there's all sorts of different things that you can use, and even household items that you could use just to help reinforce a math concept that you want to get across. Anyway, did you use a lot of manipulatives when you were going to school? Do you remember?
I'm sure I did, but it was so long ago, Mike, I don't remember.
Oh, you said with the so long ago there, sister, come on now. You ain't talking to an old man here. I know they had sticks and stones when Johnny and I were going through school, but I'm sure they had better things than you going. Anyway, Shontay is in studio with us right now. Shontay, with Valley Strong Credit Union. What is your role with the credit union?
I am the director of the Community Development Financial Institution. I know, long title, but in short, what I do is I support our small business owners throughout the Kern County area in small business lending.
And there is a lot of small businesses upstarting now. I know that, especially
Absolutely.
in downtown Bakersfield, they're
Yes.
trying to kind of rejuvenate different areas of it, and a lot of different businesses trying to get
Yes.
going and stuff like that. So you
Yes.
are the person that they are dealing with to
Yes.
kind of get up and going.
Yes, absolutely. We set up the lending, we provide lending, and the lending that we do under the CDFI is not as conventional and traditional as traditional banks. So we're looking for those business owners who really struggle in meeting regulatory lending guidelines, and so we're that organization that takes care of those small business lenders in our community.
What is the one thing you are looking for when you're talking to somebody about starting up a business? Is there something you're like, you got to have this, otherwise we're not going to be able to go on to the next step?
Well, one of the things that we try to do is really educate, because a lot of small business owners have the dream of becoming a small business owner, but they don't realize how much financial management that they actually need in order to manage a business. And so that's one of the #1 things, is to actually get educated and utilize some of our business resource groups here in Kern County.
There you go. Well, so it's a good thing that you're helping them out right there, and I'm glad that you were able to come on and kind of share your expertise with us. So, financial literacy, and we want students to kind of start getting this a little earlier as opposed to when they're just an adult and they want to start doing something. if they start learning it a little bit earlier, they'll be a little bit ahead of the game.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that we want to start with first, the first place that most parents, teachers can get started with educating students is about products, about having youth savings accounts are important today. Where a lot of our old school parents may have not knew how to educate their kids or even had a bank account back in the day. So our Rocky Raccoon account is our first savings account. Straight when they're newborn until the age of 10, this is a great way to get kids into saving. Now, of course, as parents get started, you have your first newborn child or you have any infant, people are going to give you money a lot of times. Great way to start putting that money into a savings.
I don't remember people giving me money when we had kids. I don't remember, I'm only kidding, but anyway. Yeah, they want to help out the family and stuff, okay.
Yes.
So they can start a Rocky Raccoon account.
Yes. And that savings account will kickstart off you in getting your kids into saving. As they get older, encourage them to save. Talk about savings with them, especially around birthdays when they're getting money from grandparents or they're getting rewards for having good grades. Talk to them about maybe saving half of that money and put it into their savings account. Walk them actually into our credit union and actually have them see the bank teller and hand them the cash and actually encourage them to save.
Right, have them directly do it.
Yes.
One thing I remember doing with our kids is when they started working or whatever they got something was take a percent, take 10% or 20%, whatever, and it automatically, now it doesn't matter how much you just received, you're going to put 10 or 20% into your savings. So if you received $1, you're going to put 10 cents towards the savings. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a habit.
Yes.
That I think is the big thing that you want the students to get into.
Yes, you create the behavior to save. And the more you create that behavior to save, as they get older, and let's say this too, one of the biggest things in the financial industry that we say is one of the things that will follow you from the rest of your life is making financial choices. So why not start them off young? And you teach that 10%, 5%, 20%, whatever it is,
right.
It's better to have that in their head when they're young. And as they get older, as they get a job, they'll say, okay, 10% of my paycheck, 20% of my paycheck. They'll have those good money habits early on.
And we can see the different savings accounts that you've got here and the checking account for students that are a little bit older as they're getting into high school and things like that also.
Yes. So if you'll see the Kappa savings and Kappa checking account, as soon as they turn 11 years old, parents can transition that Rocky Raccoon savings account into a Kappa savings. And don't be afraid to step into that Kappa checking account also. It's better to get them jumping into a checking account now rather than when they're 18 and leaving off to college and now they're left to make these financial choices on their own. Yes.
And then that's where bad decisions may happen.
Yes, and parents, what happens is most kids don't want you on their checking account when they're 19 or 20.
Yeah, time for you to get off of that thing. Right
Yes.
Now. All right, so what's going on here? You got this big mascot, Rocky.
Yes, so we want to encourage our kids to actually save. So if you've opened up a Rocky savings account for your child, once they meet and have 25 deposits made to their savings account, we're going to reward them by giving them one of these beautiful Rocky plush toys, which I'm going to give over to you today, Mike, for you and the Do the Math team, and to put into your swag area also.
That's right. This is beautiful, and I can tell you, I'm plush, but I tell you, this thing is soft right here.
It
I
is.
didn't think a raccoon would be something like that, but yeah, we'll put it in our swag area. We've got a bunch of things from different guests over the years, but this will definitely be one of our mascots here on Do the Math from now on. And, well, Valley Strong is my credit union, so I have made 25 deposits, so I feel pretty good about taking that.
So now let's talk about financial literacy. Financial literacy is so important. It's not just for our youth, for parents, grandparents, throughout the different stages of life, we're all going to hit milestones in financial education. So if we go to the next slide, if you go to our valleystrong.com website and you look under resources, and for our teachers out there, we actually have the tab that you can hit under resources for teachers. And if you go to the next page after that, you'll see a stream of different financial education workshops and templates that you can actually use in the classroom. I love this because I can't tell you how many teachers I get stopped and say, Shontay, can you come teach financial education in our classroom? Well, running the CDFI and trying to do financial literacy can be tough. Although we do have services we like to offer, we want to also put it in the hands of our teachers to have it too in the class.
So they can just go online
Yes.
and get this.
Yes. And that's the beauty of it. And they can contact us under the tabs that you'll see online. It'll say contact us, and you can hit that tab, put in your school and information, and we will get back to you. Our marketing team will actually get you out all the financial literacy products you need. We have online classes also where they can actually do modules. I like the Bite of Reality because that Bite of Reality gives students, especially high school students, a little bit of reality. It gives you a budget, it tells you a scenario, you have to make choices on what you would do, which is really good because they're learning.
That is a big thing right there, because I've got 6th grade students and we do a little financial literacy thing in class also. And we
Yes.
do things with the stock market and real-time stocks and things like that.
Oh, that's good.
As like a bonus to things.
Yes.
But they're also given an allotment of money, and they have to figure out, all right, what percentage of the money needs to go towards, let's say, your rent or mortgage, and then
Good.
towards things that you need, food,
Yes.
shelter, things like that. So that's kind of where your Bite of Reality is going, correct?
Yes, and it's all online. So if you know, teacher, if you're having a test that day and they have nothing to do, and for your ones that finish their test early, have them go onto the website and hit the link and go into the Bite of Reality, have them do a module so that they're learning. And then there's also the Money Moves, which you can actually have handbooks, or you can also get online and tools that they can use. And these are, I brought a few of the booklets here. This is for all ages. The Money Moves is for anywhere from TK to, you know, your seniors in high school. And these booklets are really gestured towards their age group. So this one might be this is for high school. There's going to be copies of checks where they can learn how to write a check or fill out a deposit slip.
Now, I've got a question for you, because when I was growing up, and we had to learn how to write checks and things
Oh,
like
I
that.
know where
and
this
balance
one's
a
going.
checkbook. All right, yeah, I know you do. There are a lot of kids that have no idea what a check even is. And there are a lot of adults, young adults, let's say, and they're like, why do I need to have a checkbook if I can do everything online?
Absolutely.
So before you get into that, let's just hold up this other booklet so we can show that as a reference also for students and teachers to use. Not to say that checks aren't important, but so where do you want to go with this? Because you knew where I was going.
Yeah, so a couple things about checks. Nowadays, we have really upgraded technology in the financial banking world. And so customers now can do a lot with their debit cards. The reason why you would use a debit card over a check is typically your check, that checkbook has everything that identifies your bank account. And if it gets into the wrong hands, like a fraudster, they have your routing number and your bank account number. And so now we encourage a lot of customers to actually utilize their debit card or ACH transactions because it's safer. You're giving that information to the institution. If you're making a utility bill payment, you can give them the debit card number, and that way most institutions or companies do not save your debit card number.
And I can tell you one thing, because I do belong to the credit union. And there are times when we've been on vacation or something like that in a different part of the country or the world for that matter. And they do take very good care of the security behind their customers. So I do have to say I applaud that. And,
well, thank you. We try our best.
and so financial literacy, Valley Strong Credit Union is behind that, and you guys are serving the entire valley now.
Yes.
Because this used to be only a Kern County thing, but now you're Valley Strong. You got the whole valley that you need to deal with.
Yes. So we take care of our customers all the way up to Solano County, San Joaquin. We're in Tulare, Visalia, and Kern County also.
Well, Shontay, I certainly do appreciate you coming in and sharing some of your expertise with us this afternoon. And we will definitely have Rocky on set with us all the time. So I expect you to come back and visit us again.
Yes, we
all right?
will.
And we'll also have some other people from Valley Strong coming in during the season as well.
Yes, we will. Our team is waiting to come up and join you all at Do the Math.
Well, good. Well, they can bring gifts also if they like, but let them know that we got Rocky here already, all right?
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you,
Hey,
Mike.
stick around right here, because what we're going to do is we're going to get Joel and Mickey back together right now, and we're going to have them look at this graphic that I've got up on the camera right now. So they're going to be dealing with some pizza, and the pizza, let's say we have some different sizes here, Mick. So let's just start with the 10-inch pizza.
Okay.
So go ahead and draw a circle up there, and you can just label the diameter 10 inches.
You want toppings included or no?
No. We're going to just leave it at 10 inches.
No toppings, all right.
All right. Now we can see that the price of that is $11.99.
Inflation, man, it'll get you.
So it's $11.99. So you might want to write that someplace. And thank you, Joel, for putting that $sign there, because otherwise it could just be 11 and 99 something, right? So the $sign is important. So what I'd like you guys to do is figure out the area of that pizza, then take the area and look at the cost and see what it costs per inch of pizza.
All right.
All right.
And you have a calculator here if you need to use it.
I was going to
but-
say, I know pie is going to get involved here, not the pizza pie, just that pie.
Yeah,
So-
there you go. All right.
So Joel, talk to me here. How do we find the area of a circle first off?
Well, this right here is the diameter.
Okay.
And the area, the formula of the area for a circle is pi r squared.
Okay. All right.
So we need to find the radius.
Right, because we have diameter, so how are
Yeah.
those two related? How can we figure that out?
The diameter is essentially double the radius of
Okay.
a circle. So we're just going to split this in half,
Okay, I like it.
and then that's going to turn this into 5.
Gotcha. So just like that, we don't really have to do any super complicated math. We just have to understand that the radius is half or the diameter is double.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so
then
now we have 5 inches for the radius. Where are we going now?
we're just going to plug this into this formula.
Okay,
So we're just going to square 5, get it to 25,
I like it.
and then just multiply it by pi.
Now, why do you say multiply by pi? Because I don't see a multiplication symbol, so some students may be wondering, just because pi was touching r squared, why does that represent multiplication?
Because they're not numbers, it's usually used in variables and just things in math that aren't numbers. If they are directly connected to a number or another variable, they will be automatically multiplying.
Okay, so that way, just in case our viewers at home are like, why are they multiplying it when a value is directly connected to a variable or another non-numeral, we multiply?
Yes,
Okay.
there's essentially invisible parentheses.
Gotcha. Okay, invisible parentheses. All right, we'll jump over to Mike now. We have pi times 25. I love it. Rocky Raccoon is right in the middle of it.
Yeah, we got Rocky, man. We got the mascot right here. This one, boys, I'm going to let you multiply out. So multiply 3.14
Okay, so we don't have to do full
Times
pi.
25.
Okay, all right, so 3.14
times 25.
times 25.
I'll let you boys do that one. Then if you need another bit of assistance, I'll help you
All
out.
right, kind of talk me through it, Joel. What do you want to do first? And I'll kind of word it right out for us.
So let's start with the 5. 5 times 4 would be 20, so just a 0. Then carry the 2 over to 1 times 5, which is 5, plus 2 is 7.
Okay,
Then 5 times 3 is 15.
I don't regroup the one, I just bring it down?
Just bring it down.
Okay.
And then 20 times pi, or 3.14.
Okay, you know, it's interesting you say 20. A lot of people will say, oh, we'll put the placeholder, you know, get rid of these numbers, and they say 2. But 2 isn't really worth 2, it's worth
20
20. All right, keep talking to me. 20 times 4.
would be 60. No, 80.
There you go.
My bad.
All right, 80. Now, do I write 80 or do I just put an 8?
Just put the 8 because the 0 is already there.
Right, and that's where some students might be wondering, well, why do I put the 0 there? Because a lot of teachers will teach placeholder and you put the 0 there. Why? Well, because I told you so. But really, it's because 20 times 4 is
80.
80, so the 0's there. I love it. Joel, I'm glad you understand that. Let's keep going.
Then the 2 times the 1 would just bring it to 2.
Right, because 20 times 10 is 200, so 2 in the hundreds place. Excellent.
And then the 2 times the 3 would be 6.
All right, 6. Am I done?
Then you add the 2 together. The two numbers.
Add my partial products.
The
0 and 0,
zero.
0.
7, 8, 15.
15.
So 5, bring the 1 over.
Okay.
6 plus 2 is 8.
I love it.
And then the 1 plus the 6 is 7. Then there's
7,850.
wrong.
Okay, all right.
Not
Help
yet.
me. Finish it up for
There
me.
are 2 numbers after the decimal.
Gotcha. So I
Because it's
only need
multiplication.
100th of it.
Just bring it down. Right in between the 8 and the 5.
Right there?
Yep.
Perfect. So this, is this money? What does this number represent?
This is the area in square inches of the pizza.
Okay, let's go ahead and write that out with our correct, what am I trying to think of? The
Notation.
correct notation. There it is. Thank you, Mike. Our correct notation so people know what we measured. It's not 78.5 truckloads of dirt or dollars. It's inches of pizza. That sounds pretty good right now.
Yeah.
All right, so 78.5 inches squared of pizza, Mike. And you said we need to figure out how much each square inch costs.
Right, so if it costs $11.99 for the whole pizza, right, and you have 78.5 square inches, what is it per square inch?
Are we allowed to use a calculator, or do you want us to do long division here? Oh, yes, now we
yeah,
get the
use the
calculator.
calculator on
Thank you,
this
thank you, thank you. But before we use it, Joel, I need you to tell me, what will we do?
We're going to get 78.5 0.50, and we're going to divide it by 11.99.
All right, so 78.5 square inches divided by $11.99. Joel, this is a big number.
Right, so
It's gonna be
think
a
So I
about
want
what
you
you're
to
doing.
tell me, where should we stop based on the problem? Should I use all those numbers in the decimals, or should I limit ours? Or should we
We're
limit
only
us?
going to use 2 decimal points.
Okay,
Because it is a value, a monetary value. There's only going to be 2 cents.
gotcha,
Well, 2 different placements for the cents.
gotcha.
So this is going to come out to $6.55. So
Okay, so
That's
what I want you
not
guys
exactly
to do
right.
is think
No,
about
that's
what's
not right.
going on right now, because what you did is what a lot of students are going to do. They're going to go, I have 78 inches, I'm going to divide it by 12, let's say. Right? So it's going to come out to be $6 an
So
inch.
technically what we just
No.
did is it's
Right, so you wanna go the
6.55
other
inches
way.
per dollar.
Yes.
So let's flip it. So that was me trying to see how we could kind of figure that out. So we figured out it's 6.55 inches for every dollar I spend. Instead, let's flip it and do $11.99 divided by 78.5. That'll tell us how much it is per square inch.
And leave the 655 up there. And we'll do it the other way now to find out the other costs, and it's going to be in cents only.
Sounds good to me.
And then we'll do the next size pizza and see if it is comparable.
Okay.
So I get a very large number. Well, small.
Very small. When it's a decimal, it's a very small number.
Yeah. So it's going to be 0.15
And did we
after rounding.
round to the 5? Okay, cool. So 15 what?
15 cents.
Yep, 15 cents. So we can put our little cent symbol. 15 cents per what?
Square inch.
Per square inch. There we go. Hop back over to Mike. Is that correct? 15 cents per square
15
inch?
cents is correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to have you guys work on the next one. While we do this, we'll be right back. All right, so just
Welcome to California State University, Bakersfield, a beacon of hope and new beginnings and the heart of the Golden State. At CSUB, we are runners, and we are on the rise. Our eyes are set on the opportunity to craft a better future for the Southern San Joaquin Valley as we draw strength from our history and the legacy of leaders like my grandfather Caesar, who reshaped this region and the nation.
CSU Bakersfield occupies a unique place here in the heart of California. We are the only public four-year university within 100 miles, and our region counts on CSUB to develop the next generation of leaders to move us forward with innovation and new ideas.
Lucky for me, I had CSU Bakersfield, so I was able to get my education, which was going to help me in my career, but I was also able to be close to home to help with my family. For me, that was absolutely huge because my success involves the success of my family.
Kern County feeds and powers the world. This is where generations of farmers revolutionized crop science, making Kern County the top food-producing county in the nation. It is where farm workers joined together to launch a civil rights movement that continues to this day. It is where CSUB alumni have helped Kern County become home to wind and solar fields that generate more green energy than any other county in California. Our campus is where we will build the Energy Innovation Center to bring together leading scientists, decision makers, and industry partners to create the West Coast Energy Research Hub. And Kern is where, over the endless skies of our deserts, the sound barrier was broken, ushering in the space age, and where our engineering graduates are imagining a new era of wonder. CSUB is rooted in that history, and we draw powerful inspiration from it. But the future's challenges demand more of us, and runners are rising to the occasion. Many of our students are the first in their families to attend a university, breaking ground for themselves as their parents cheer them on and their siblings look to them for inspiration. At CSUB, we are called to push ourselves, to compete and dream and stretch beyond our comfortable day-to-day lives to find the best in ourselves and one another. When runners rise, we lift everyone around us.
Hopefully someday we can make sure that every single child, every single student will be able to go to a Cal State.
As the only university in California's energy capital, we rise to write the next chapter on energy production and emerging technologies like carbon management to help the state meet its ambitious climate goals.
CSUB really sits in the heart, at the center of Kern County, that's really educating and providing these talents, these workforce that needs for this new development of the technology that's related to carbon management.
We rise to offer our students and community the chance to turn their ideas into innovations through CSUB's new Venture Accelerator and Center for Entrepreneurship.
The East Kern aerospace sector is a huge job pool. Currently, there's 20,000 positions in East Kern. It's an absolutely amazing opportunity for our graduates to get involved in the aerospace sector.
We rise to solve a critical problem for the Central Valley, where teachers are in short supply. CSUB's nationally recognized teacher education program is leading the effort in California to put more teachers of color into classrooms.
Getting to work with CSUB students as a mentor, I get to learn from them and they get to learn from me, so it's a great relationship.
We rise to expand healthcare for families of the Central Valley through our public health focus and nursing programs, consistently ranked among the top in the state.
Our faculty are very experienced, knowledgeable, and compassionate.
We rise to enrich our communities with art, music, and imagination.
Opportunity is just one step away. You just got to be brave enough to take that step. And that's where the arts are. It feeds that fire. We need to heal our souls.
We rise to take center stage in the conversations that will shape the fates of California's San Joaquin Valley and the diverse and vibrant people who live here.
We are on the rise at CSUB, and as we rise, we are lifting up our students, communities, and the world around us.
Each one of our students is a dynamic individual who brings unique experiences and viewpoints to our Roadrunner family.
We rise for all of us. Nos levantamos para todos nosotros.
All right there, discover CSUB right here in our own backyard. And big thanks also to CSUB Athletics. They also provide passes for students throughout the year as well. And if you ever go out to one of those, they always like Go Runners or
hold up your runner sign. That's right.
Hold up your runner sign right there. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. And if you do happen to phone in today or even next week, the fair opens next week, and we will give you a free pass to the Kern County Fair. All you have to do is call in with one of your math problems. It is as simple as that. In studio, we have a 10th grader who is taking a geometry class right now with Valley Oaks, and Joel is here to work on the next pie,
Yes.
pizza pie, right? So we started with a 10-inch pizza, and we saw that it was 15 cents per square inch.
Mm-hmm.
Then during the break, I had you guys work on a 12-inch pizza, a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And what did you find with that pizza?
I found that it's actually a better value per square inch. The 10-inch in diameter pizza comes up to around 15 cents per square inch.
Okay.
Whereas the 12-inch in diameter pizza comes up to around 14 cents per square inch, therefore being a better value.
Okay, so I want to pay less per square inch of pizza.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
So the bigger it is, the more you should save.
correct, right? So at the store, you ever looked at a price tag and it says like price per ounce on
Yeah.
like food or everything? So that's the same concept that we're working with here, but it's not per ounce of food; it's per square inch of that good pizza.
Exactly.
All right,
so-
good pizza. What's good pizza to you? What kind of toppings would you like on your pie?
Oh, now we get to have toppings. Yeah, well, let's do an extra large pizza first. So we have extra room for toppings. So let's see if that
Exactly.
one's a better deal. All right, so Joel, we're dealing with the extra large pizza now. It looks like it is 16 inches in diameter for $20.99. Let's start there.
Well, hold on there, boys. Before you get going, let's take a shot at this. It was 15 cents per inch for the small.
Okay.
14 cents for medium. Let's assume that it would be 13 cents for the next size. So if you're going right to the extra large, what do we think it should be if it goes in that pattern? Should be 12 cents per square inch, right?
About 12
See,
inches.
but I'm not agreeing with him entirely because my size goes up at the same interval, 2-inch intervals. However, my price seems to not have a consistent interval change.
Yeah.
$11.99 to $15 is a $4 difference, but to go from 12 inches to 14 is only $2 difference. So I'm not seeing a very consistent change in terms of price to size.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if it truly does go to 13 cents per square inch of pizza.
Well, we're thinking it might even go to 12, because 13 we were thinking.
Sorry,
would have been
13
the
for
other
the
one.
large and then 12 for the extra large. Is that
Hopefully
what we're
it's
going?
even less.
Hopefully.
Well, let's find out. Let's
Yep.
go for it.
So this is going to be
16 inches, yes.
And then half of that is going to be, well, it's going to be 8.
I like it. I love it. Let's keep going. 8-inch radius pizza.
Pi r square.
Pi r squared again. I'll grab the calculator.
8 times 8 for squared is 64.
64.
Then multiply that by pi.
Times 3.14. I get 296 hundredths inches.
200 and
96 hundredths, 0.96. That's a lot of
96.
pizza.
And that's inches squared.
Yes.
And
And
then
the price was, let's double check, $20.99.
$20.99. And that's dollars.
Okay.
And then we're going to go ahead and divide the money, 20.99, by the square inches, or the area.
All right. Let's write down 0.10. And I'm going to do it one more time, always to double check our calculations, make sure everything comes out correctly. So 20.99 divided by 296 hundredth inches. Yep, 0.10, rounded to the nearest hundredth, correct.
And that's going to be cents.
Hey,
It's a better
10
value.
cents, even better value. Okay. Sounds like we're getting extra large pizza today.
Yeah.
Mike, how do we do? 10 cents per
That's pretty
square
good.
inch?
You get that. You know what? Let's see if you boys can make it 8.
Okay.
I'm only kidding. No.
All right, well, let's get a bigger
That's
pizza.
the end of the deal right there. Because what I saw is I saw this menu at a pizza place, right? And I said this would be great to bring on Do the Math, and we can see if it does follow a pattern. So as you mentioned, the price doesn't follow a pattern, right? We increase by 4, increase by 2, increase by 3. So there's no pattern there. The size of the pizza increases in a pattern where you're adding 2 inches every time. But then the savings, you do want to show that the larger pizza you buy, the more value you get, because it's 10 cents as opposed to 15 cents with the smaller one.
Correct. So you're spending less amount per square inch of pizza.
Right.
So Joel, if you had to pick a pizza to go get tonight for dinner, which would you get? What size pizza are we going for?
I'll take the extra large.
Extra large, right? Like, it's a lot of pizza, but it saves money in the end. So
Well, look, the kid is a high school student. Of course, he's going to get an extra large, and then what's the rest of the family going to eat?
Large. They're going to get their own large pizza.
Right? Come on, I remember when my kids were in high school and stuff. This stuff goes like a never-ending food truck right there going through anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, you feel pretty good about those problems?
Yeah.
All right, good. You know what? We'll be back right after this.
Whoa! Things are looking pretty bad down there. But don't worry. I'm going to give weather forecasters a heads up and help you stay safe. I'm a GOZAR series weather satellite, and one of my jobs is to keep an eye on Earth's weather as I orbit above. But I'm 22,000 miles above Earth. How does your local weather forecaster know what I see all the way up here? First, I have to figure out what's going on. I point my special camera at the Earth and take pictures of the clouds I see below. My pictures show where the clouds are, but I also take lots of other notes about the clouds. For example, how high they reach into the atmosphere, how much rain they might cause, and when a severe storm may be forming. But I can't keep all of this information to myself. I have to share it with weather forecasters down on Earth. A big antenna is waiting for my call. Since I'm a satellite, I send my pictures and notes in a computer language of ones and zeros. Luckily, the antenna speaks my language. Computers connected to the antenna organize my notes and combine all of the pictures and cloud information and translate them into weather maps. They send a version of the maps back up to me. I'll hold on to these for later. Another copy of the maps is split into smaller pieces. This helps the maps move faster from one place to another. The map pieces are then sent for processing before being sent back up in the sky to a communication satellite. From there, the maps are picked up by antennas at the National Weather Service forecast offices in each region. There are more than 100 offices. I also take the maps that I received and send them out to companies that specialize in making the maps more colorful and better for viewing on TVs and computers. The colorful maps and the maps from the forecast offices then go to your local weather forecaster. The forecaster combines the information from these maps with lots of other information, like model forecast data and radar data, to make predictions about the upcoming weather in your area. And that's how I help you find out if bad weather is going to ruin your afternoon plans. You're welcome.
And just a reminder, as we enter our 22nd season here on Do the Math, we do have phone tutors available for you on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and the live show is every Tuesday and Wednesday throughout most of the school year between 4:30 and 5:30. Joel, a 10th grade student taking geometry right now. You did some nice work today. You feel pretty good about all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I think you did pretty well. You are now an ambassador for Do the Math.
I am.
You are. Do you know what that means?
I help promote it.
There you go. You help
All
promote it. So
right.
there's the shirt right there. When you go and hold it up to camera 3, put it down so we can see you also. There you go. So when you wear that shirt, people go, hey, what's going on with that? And then you can tell them all about the show.
Yeah.
Now, as I said, you're also getting into a little bit of the audio world that you wanted to get into
Yes.
because you are an employee of the superintendent of schools office.
I am.
And you're pretty new at it. So how has that been going so far?
It's been going pretty well. I've mainly been doing some observing at the moment, but
Okay.
I have done training doing actually the audio. And then I do have some experience already in it, but it is going pretty well. I quite like it.
Well, good. Well, that's the first thing you want is we want you to like it, we want you to enjoy it, learn as you're going and things like that. And who knows, this is year 22, you may be here until year 32, you're still doing the audio and then moving on to different things like that. But we certainly do appreciate you coming on today, sharing some of your math knowledge about geometry and triangles and circles and things like that.
Of course.
And we know that you're going to be a great ambassador. And this, I was also informed of, is our newest shirt this year.
All right.
The design's kind of the same, but it's mostly blue and white, where we had some other color in there as well. We had a lot more red on the past shirts, but that is new and improved Do the Math shirt right there. So you see those around town, you'll know that somebody was on this season, year number 22. Want to say special thank you to Dr. John Mendiburu for coming in this afternoon, the Kern County Superintendent of all of these different schools here in Kern County. And also a big thank you to Shontay from Valley Strong Credit Union coming in today to do a little bit of financial literacy with us and bringing us our newest mascot.
That's
Here.
right.
We've got Rocky the raccoon with us, and Rock could be on set, maybe not there the whole time during the season, but
I
he
don't
will
know.
be here.
It's a nice little perch for him. I think
It's
he
a
enjoys it
nice little
lot,
perch, but I
yeah.
can't see my computer screen when I need to do stuff. So anyway, we'll move Rocky.
There
around
you go.
during
He's
the
good to
season.
go.
Yeah, where's Rocky all during the season? Anyway, we do have phone tutors until 5:30. Until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and the Kern High School District. With additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.